Okay, let's work on our last cards. Card number 4 looks like this. Very, very pretty. Don't need to do much to make this look special, but we will up it a little bit. So let's get these going. Doing a little prep first. We need to stamp on this piece here. And we need to stamp the jar. And you're going to need the little ribbon for the jar too. Excuse me, this morning. It is December 2nd. That's when I'm doing this. Because Sunday, these all need to be ready for you. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to grab this stamp set, the mistletoe and holly one, and put that right in the middle of that gray piece. Time for mistletoe and holly. I haven't seen mistletoe for years. Of course, I don't decorate my house, so that's one of the reasons, but this year I did. Okay, like that, and then grab your jar. And we're gonna stamp, oh, and you know what? Let's stamp both of them. So I will go back to that other piece in a minute, and might as well get them both done. And let me get that second jar right here. Okay, I'm gonna ink it good. I'm off camera with my ink, but you know how to ink. And press down, get a good seal, let it sink in. And that turned out well. And another one for card 2. Now, as you know, with these workshops, you can actually make 4 of each card. So what I do is I make 2 for the examples for you guys so that I can start advertising our class, and then I make 2 more for you on video. I'm gonna press down a little bit harder this time, see if I can get more ink on there. Like I said, my ink is a little dry. Okay, that looks good. Let's dovetail what we need. We do need to stamp the, forgot this part on the jar. So let's get that right under the neck of the jar. Oh, ha! You guys, I put it on wrong. All right, on the right side this time. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you put the wrong side down. All right, now we can dovetail the mistle and the holly one, and you of course can do 2 at a time. So let's just do that, and I'm just gonna go in about a 1/4 inch there so I don't hit any of the stamping. Go in up the middle and then bring it in from the corners. You do this enough times, you'll get it right most of the time. It's not too hard. All right, up the middle, and then in from each side. Like that. Hey, so you know what I get to do when I finish this is I'm going to go ahead and do the layouts that Valerie is teaching, because I want them for myself. So I want the Christmas story layouts. Very excited about that. All right, this is all going to be covered up quite a bit with liquid glass later, so I'm going to put that as my second card. And then let's start putting these together. Now remember, when you're folding this, that the mountain side goes on the inside. So the upper one goes on the inside. Valley side goes on the outside. I'm gonna start with this piece. So yeah, I'm excited, and I'm listening to a great book, and you guys, I'm sure, have heard of it. It's called A Man Called Uva, and they're, you know, making, and I think I already told you about that. I think I did. Anyway, so I'm listening to that on tape. So while I'm gonna do a little drawing around this. while I'm making my layouts today. I'll be listening to that book. That is how I get through a lot of books. So my goal for this year was 100 books. I think I'm at 80 for the year. That means I have got to really kick it into gear this month and be listening to a lot of books. And I also read books at the same time. So right now I'm reading one. I think it's called, oh my gosh, now I forgot, How Crafting Saved My Life or something similar to that. And I just thought that was an interesting thought and concept for a book. It's basically an actress who's not super popular. This is not a fiction. This is actually a biography. She's, I don't even know if you have heard of her. I think her name is Sutton Foster. And I had never really heard of her. But anyway, that she got me with that title about, oops, this is what happens when I don't pay attention. Take that off. Oh my goodness. First I've got to put these on. So the green one goes 1.5 inches from the bottom. Hopefully you didn't glue that down too tight. Okay, let's try the green one first. And pay attention, Barbara. Anyway, she's like a kind of a B actress. But I just like that idea that having a hobby made a difference in her life. This really has in mine. Hope it has in yours. On top of this, we're gonna put some shimmer trim. Just gonna freehand cut this a little bit extra long so I can trim. So that's the book I'm reading, physically reading, and then the other one I listen to. And I have such a backlog right now because I get my books from the virtual library and they come up, you know, you put them on hold and then all of a sudden all of them come in at once. So normally I will say, oh no, give it to me later. But because I'm behind, I can't wait for them to give it to me later. Once I get done with one book, I want to make sure I'm on to the next already. So I've taken out a lot of virtual books all at once. I think I have 3 that I need to read, 3 I need to listen to, and then I also bought the new Matthew Perry autobiography, because I thought that looked neat. Now we're going to put this back on. Center it. And it looks like it's going to be about 1/4 inch all the way around. So I'm a big fan of Friends, so I wanted to read his book. I think he's the only one that's written a autobiography, although maybe not. Maybe, who's the guy that plays Ross? I can't remember his name now. David Schwimmer. So David Schwimmer, I think it's possible that he wrote one, but we'll find out. Because after this one, I'll probably want to read any other ones. All right, we're going to go with these little berries and kind of stamp them first. Because I just found that they were a little hard to stamp after you put in the weeds. So up here, about 1 inch in from the top, over here, and then over here. If you want to do it afterwards, you can too. And then let's just start with our little flora, yes. So green one first. Get your glue and put some big globs of glue there so it'll sit down as flat as possible. So I had a little accident this morning. I was in bed. My husband left for work. When he closed the door, I heard this big crash. And it turned out to be our Christmas tree. Somehow the door closing must have thrown some wind in here. And the Christmas tree was on its side. So right now it's just standing there, and all the ornaments that fell off it, luckily none of them broke, which is a shocker. But I put them all aside in a container so that my husband, when he gets home tonight, can put this on better. I knew, when I saw it, that it wasn't really secure enough, but I figured just for our little apartment, it probably would have been fine, but nope. So he's gonna have to work on that tree holder again, tree stand, and do a better job. So I don't want to put the ornaments back on until it's all secure. This one's gonna go to the left. Now remember, these have to kind of fit in the jar, so you sort of want the stems, and I almost really not sure that stem's good enough. I probably should put that just a little bit more tilted. But it's not going to be because I can't get it up. So when you do yours, maybe tilt the stem a little bit closer here. Once we put this on, it's going to be close. Ugh. Oh, I'm losing this. Hold on a minute, you guys. Stick that down. I might pull this up anyway, because I really need it to be just a little bit. Oh my gosh, it's just glued down too well. So I may end up cutting this part off or something. We'll see once I get the jar down. So let me do the rest first. So it's a good thing for you that I'm making these mistakes first. So when you put yours down, try to put those stems a little closer. This one's going to be almost vertical. Just pushing down on it with something flat seems to help for me. And then this last little bit is this one. Let me get that on there. That just kind of goes there. So let me see how I can fix my error. One thing I could do is just move this over slightly. But let me see. If I put it down a little bit further, then it looks sort of like it's inside that. So I think I'll do that. I'm gonna pop this up. I'm not putting liquid glass on this one, so I don't have to put a ton of pop tape. I'm gonna glue this down now that I know it's gonna stay there. And then that mistletoe and holly is not gonna really need to be popped up because it's just gonna sit on top of this. So I'm just going to move this slightly over so it looks like everything's kind of fitting in there. And get my mistletoe and holly. So I just only need to put glue or runner right in the middle because it's gonna kind of sit up. So not completely perfect because it's not centered that great, but yours will be better. And I think that's it for that card. So let's make it better this time. So in this one, you're gonna take your stitched paper as a background to make that look better. And fill it in. I think with this actual color, I think that when Close to My Heart does some of their workshops, they're trying to save on paper because if you look at your workshop, you'll notice there's only one of the pages of paper, right? So that gives them only two options, the front or the back of this sheet here. So that doesn't give them really another option to put behind unless they use cardstock and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and just use some of that mix in behind. And this is going to be centered about a 1/4 inch from each side. And then let's remember to actually do this time. And that was 1.5 up from the bottom. 1.5. All right. I think I'm gonna make some brownies today. I got basically a plain brownie mix, so I'm gonna have to put some stuff in it. Let's do our drawing around the edge of this. And so I know I have some nuts up in the cupboard. I love brownies with nuts in them. And I will look around. What do you like to put in your brownie mixes? Put it in the comments below. I've put dried cranberries before. That tastes pretty good. Marshmallows, chocolate chips, white chips, butterscotch chips, mint chips. All yummy things. All right, let's get this center. This is gonna be in about 1/4 inch in from the red. Oh, what did I miss? Almost did it. Gotta get this shimmer trim in first. Caught myself. All right. Let's get this right up to the left, butt it up against the green, and then trim it off the end. Then we can put that other one on. 1/4 inch in from the red. Like that. All right, let's do the stamping with the cranberry. One up towards the top. Over here. And over here. All right. Now I'm going to be more careful with my green one this time. Turn it slightly so that it will be more in the jar and I can center the jar more. Like that. This is how I am in the morning. Sorry about that. Till I've had a good iced tea or something. Get some good glue on that. Stick it over to the left-hand side. And then the white one. That's going to kind of go straight up and down. And you're going to have, if you sit here and do the whole package, you will have 16 Christmas cards just like that. And if you want to make more, the trick is to, you can buy bulk paper. And I'm not sure if that's available. I can't remember if that's on the supply list, but if you guys ever need to get bulk paper, I'm pretty sure you can get it. It may just be in the older papers, not sure. Let me know, because I believe it's like 12 sheets of the same one, and it's the one, always the one that they've used in the card workshop. See, I got red on me. Some ink. Pulled some ink off of something, and so I got red on that. Let me know if you need to make a lot of cards, because I know how Christmas cards are. You know, you make a lot, right? But let me know, because I can get those kind of supplies for you occasionally. I'll just put this like this, and I'm going to press it down with something fairly flat. And then, I think I use stickles on this too, on those little things, so we'll do that in a minute. On my ugly jar, I'm gonna put tons and tons, because I'm gonna liquid glass this. Now, like before, what I did, where I did that bow and I just threw the bow into the liquid glass, I'm going to attempt to put the Time for Mistletoe and Holly down into my liquid glass and see if I can do it without messing it up. If that looks precarious for you, which it may be, this is an experiment for me, to put that sentiment down while the liquid glass is still wet, all you have to do is wait for your liquid glass to dry. So we will do that liquid glass last. We'll do the stickles first. Okay. Lots of tape if you're going to do liquid glass like that. But I'm going to attempt to throw that thyme for mistletoe and holly up into the liquid glass. And we'll see how that turns out. Now, if I make a mistake and if you can see that it doesn't work, then you will know. So don't do it until I have finished taking a look and see if it works. Okay, this is going to go up a little bit so it covers all the stems like that. All right, now I'm going to go and do the liquid glass. Nope, stickles first. Let me do my stickles real quick. And those are going to go over here on this green one. On each of the buds. Just dab a little of that stickles on it. Doesn't take long. On each of the buds. Anyway, so that book, a man named Uwe, definitely recommend if you're a reader. Plus, I have a feeling the movie will be good too. All right, now I'm gonna go liquid glass this thing. Outline first. Did anybody figure out what the name of the outline is called when you're doing cookies? I still feel like it might be like a dam. I'm pretty sure that, I mean, that would make sense. So outline it first, then fill it in, and just look for, you know, to smooth it out. Don't leave any holes. And don't let it inhale, and you'll get much less bubbles that way. Constant pressure. I'm excited to go home tomorrow and up to Michigan and bring down some more of my scrapbook supplies. All of my markers I need to go get. And I've got few other things up there that I need to get. So I can have some more of my stuff down here. All right, almost done. Don't overdo. Once it's filled, be done. I see one little air bubble, but it won't matter because this is the sentiment's gonna go over it. All right, here is the experiment. So I'm gonna just put the sentiment right down into the glue. Hopefully it's not gonna shift. It'll just kind of stay there. I think this is gonna work. And that card is done. We'll just let it all dry. All right. My only thing is, will it curve up? Is that going to curve up? So I'll let it dry, and before I post this video, I will show you the result, and then you can decide for yourself if you want to, or you can take a chance like I'm going to. I think it'll probably try to turn up, but then it may flatten back down, which is what happens with most of the liquid glass. So see, if not, if you just want to be safe rather than sorry, let that liquid glass dry and then go ahead and tack that down. All right, guys, I'll let you know the results. So this worked out just fine. Putting this on at the end, it looked a little wavy for a while, but then just straightened right back out when everything was dry. So that will work. So this worked out just fine. Putting this on at the end, it looked a little wavy for a while, but then just straightened right back out when everything was dry. So that will work.